I'm Mark Santini. I'm with Yummy Ice Cream. I've been in the ice cream business about 22 years. I am new to vending, so as Hoss mentioned, a lot of people in this room has been doing this business for a very long time. For us, the challenge is how do we get the vending business, or whatever name we're to decide to call it in the future, on track to be successful again, okay? And one of the first things we had to do is figure out who our customer really is, all right? And find out what the customer wants. So that's been what our study has been over the last, I was here last year. We just started that up 3 months before the last convention. And with Maurice's help over the last 6 months, really determining what this business is. So with that, we're going to go over some operational requirements that we feel as a distributor, as an independent customer operator, need to focus on. And these were things that we've learned from our customers. This is what the feedback they provided to us is what they'd like to see come to their business, okay? Vehicle maintenance, image, technology, product portfolio, believe it or not, what they think that we should be selling. And then we'll talk about, a lot of you have had a chance to go see the Ford vehicle out, the vending vehicle. We'll talk about what that really means to the image of the business. And we got some real data that shows the comparison of the old vehicle and the new vehicle, and excited to share that data with you guys. Then Maurice will go into the key segments that we focused on this journey of figuring out what this business should be. And he's done an outstanding job of listening to the customer and providing them what they're really looking for. So this is the nut of really what you need to be thinking about and listening to. So with that, operational requirements. As a distributor, our responsibility as a distributor for our independent operators to provide resources to them so they can be a successful independent customer operator. We just can't sit there and just sell product. We gotta be engaged with their business as well. We have to provide training resources to our independent operators. If we want them to be successful, we gotta teach them how to be successful. That's one of the things we learned. Provide training and sales techniques, believe it or not. Just driving a truck around and thinking that you're gonna sell to someone running up to the vehicle is selling. No, that's not selling. How to motivate that customer, that child daycare, that retail association, that sports association, talk their language to make that sales pitch for not just that day sale, but a repeated monthly, weekly, or annual sales contract that you work out with them. You have to attract the right independent operators, and this is key. You have to want to be able to go up, wake up in the morning and go out and do your job, right? That's your career. If you're waking up just to go out and sell $500 a day and think that's successful, this is not for you. This is not the business for you. We want individuals who want to sell $1,000, Maurice, calm down, $1,700 a day, because it's happened, all right? We've seen that success, and it can go up to $2,000. Calm down, Maurice, we're not there yet, but we will be. But that's the challenge we have. And in this business, we have to motivate people to be engaged in that business, okay? We have to be able to analyze that business that we do with our independent operators. Help them based on the sales data that they're providing. They have to provide some information so we can better help them support their business. Now, an independent customer operator, this is key here. They have to be vested in the business. This is, like I said, just not showing up and getting into a truck and driving a truck around and coming back because they hit $500. They have to have some investment into their future and their career, because believe it or not, $1,000 a day sales is a very good annual salary if done right, okay? They can be their own entrepreneur. Have to be willing to learn new ideas. Sometimes we all get stuck in that tunnel vision and say, no, this has worked and I'm going to continue to do this. We have to listen to our customers. We have to listen to the people we're selling, what they want and what's different and what excitement they want to see. We just can't be the guy hammering down what we want to do and force it on them. We have to be open-minded. Must understand basic business P&L. If you don't know what you're purchasing, how much you're spending on fuel, how much you're spending on insurance, you're not going to be a successful business owner. And we have to help educate them on that. And again, must be able to supply sales data. And why that's important. It's important so that we can really determine what's really selling out there. What are the right items? What time of the year are those items most successful selling? Not every item sells the same everywhere. We need to be able to learn from that information. Vehicle maintenance, let me tell you, this is not what we feel and what we created and came up with. This is what the customer said to us. These are some of the things they pointed out what the old vision of the vending truck was. They want to make sure that vehicle is actually licensed to operate and come up with, doesn't have an inspection sticker. They want to make sure that vehicle passed and it's not polluting, exhaust into their parking lot to where their customers are. Believe it or not, this is what they mentioned. Make sure that they have the city permits. We'll do business, but are you permitted? I mean, it's a simple thing that we take for granted, but that's what they require. Have proof of proper refrigeration, right? Dry ice doesn't work for these customers. They understand that. All the stuff in the news about ice cream, these customers are asking the questions. Do you have the proper refrigeration equipment to keep that ice cream frozen? And again, I talked about the exhaust, but following the required maintenance schedule and vehicle inspection with the vehicle requested by the manufacturer, we couldn't believe a customer asked that question. Okay, let's provide that. Make sure our independent customer operators are using that and doing that. This may sound simple, and guys think that cleaning the outside of the vehicle is important, but we did an event where the actual association wanted to jump inside the truck to see the inside of the truck and see from the inside to the outside how clean that truck really was. That was important to them, that image. And we take that for granted. These are simple operational things that they ask us to do, and we take that for granted. And it's important that we educate our independent customer operators that this is important to our customers. And please don't, this wasn't me when I was little, but close. But what intrigues this business and what most of our customers talked about was bringing back the vending truck. And again, we're calling it a vending truck because that's the terminology now. But that was the experience. That was the excitement. If they want to have ice cream, they can go buy ice cream and give them pops and give it to their employees, or they can give them to the daycare. That's not what this is about. They want to have the experience of that ice cream truck pulling up there, and either their kids or either their employees on Employee Appreciation Day get that experience. So that's the important thing that they requested from us. So we got to take advantage of that. They requested, hey, make sure your driver, we know who that driver is that's coming out. Is he clean? Is his shirt wrinkled? These are things that, again, they're giving us the information. We're just absorbing that information and listening to them so we can be successful in their business. So, again, being energetic, approachable was important. When you're dealing with kids from a child care facility coming up, if you're not outgoing, you're not energetic, and you're just that guy that says, okay, what do you want? Okay, what do you want? Engage and approach with them, and that brings that repeat business back. Again, feedback that they gave to us on our business. Have to be a self-motivated salesperson. You got to be willing to sell. Again, it's not just the one stop, it's the repetitive scheduled stops that we're looking for in this business. And again, train to sell $1,000 a day. I'll talk a little bit about technology I talked last year, and then during last year's presentation, everybody raised their hand, well, I use this and I use that. That's great. The key thing is finding a POS system that works best for you. We're not going to say it needs to be Square or it needs to be another program. Use what that best suits your business. The key thing is make sure you're able to collect all forms of payment. Believe it or not, credit card acceptance is at a high rate right now, and if you're not taking credit card, you're losing a lot of sales. You're losing a lot of the high-end dollar sales, and that's important, okay? You must be able to manage that data and supply that data back, and all that is done in whatever POS system that you use. So it's important to pick one out. You got to have the ability to track sales, as I mentioned earlier, and you have to be able to utilize, this is important, a daily or weekly calendar. A lot of guys just write down on a piece of paper, and later on they say, did I have an event today? It's important. One of the things that our customers communicated on to us was, I want the vehicle here well before the event and ready to go, not show up late. And believe it or not, that has helped us get multiple stops with Stewart Title, which Maurice will talk about, and several other customers. And again, those are little things that we take for granted. Hey, you know what, I got another stop, but you know what, I'll be there 5 minutes before it starts. We're not ready, we're not set up, we're not organized. That goes a long way with our customers. Again, have the ability to share data with your distributor or your supplier. Data is knowledge. And what we've learned from the sales that I'll show you have helped us better tweak what we need for the customers. Something else that the customers talked about was our product portfolio. I know that this will be a shock to a lot of people. You know, we don't need 80 items, 70 items on a truck. Limit the SKUs on your truck to the right assortment to the customers that you're catering to. Focus on higher priced, higher profit items. Optimize your items for your target customer. Create customer-specific menu boards. Key, not to sticker the side of the truck with all different types of items. That's not what they want. That's not the image they want showing up to their corporation, their child care, or a special event. That's not what they're looking for. That's the bad image they have of the business. So cater that menu to them so you can, again, each customer's a little different, you can sell those higher end items. And again, create simple pricing, which for ease of transaction. $1.50, $1.75, they're gonna buy a $2, $3, $4, $5 item. That's it, it's an ease of transaction. Don't make it complicated for yourself or for the customer. So this is gonna shock a lot of people. We focus on not selling dollar items. We said we're not gonna have a dollar item on the truck. There's no need for it. A dollar item doesn't make anybody money, really. So you're taking that dollar item to a customer at daycare. They'll spend $2, they'll spend $3, they'll spend $4. I promise you. They'll spend what you offer them. Through our study, our key learning was that we should focus about 25% of the items at $2, 35% of the items at $3, 30% at $4, and 10% at that $5 ring. And we're selling at that rate, okay? Simplify that pricing menu for the customer. Here's probably the biggest impact from all that information that we've gathered from the customer and their feedback. And this is the proof in the pudding right here, okay? We have an operator that we work with that has 15 vehicles. And of those 15 vehicles, 3 of them are brand new Nissan vehicles. The rest are all the old vintage vehicle. Through the first 170 days of 2015, this is the sales results that posted for this. The vintage daily average, the old truck, averaged $323. The Nissan daily average was $784. The new truck, 2.4 times more sales on a daily basis, okay? When separating that out, when having that vintage truck go out without any sales support, not scheduling stops, not creating any retail environment for them, they average $265 a day. On that non-aided Nissan truck, they averaged $760. No sales support, no help. They went out and averaged $760 a day. Now, having some sales support, having someone go out there and sell those customers for you was the trick, okay? Even on the vintage truck, it went up to $612 average a day. And when we went to, on the brand new trucks, we averaged over $1,000 a day on sales through the first 170 days. That's, who would like to do that every day of the week? We all would, right? And the object is, that's just the beginning. We're 2 guys that really haven't been in the business long enough to know what's right or wrong. We're just listening to what the customer said. We're taking feedback and trying to build on what that customer wants, and we're achieving $1,000 a day right now. A lot of it has to do with the new truck, but a lot of it has to do with being a sales-minded individual and motivated to go out there and sell. Who here has results like this today in vending? Who does $600 a day? See, we got to get past that. It's achievable if you think differently and change the way you operate currently, okay? You have to be invested into the future. You have to look for individuals who want to invest in their future, okay? And this is a great way of doing that. Any questions before I bring Maurice up? Look, what we've done in our market is maybe unique to our market. But for us, we had no clue, honestly, of what we were diving into. We just took basic principles of what we do with our DSD business and said, hey, if it works in DSD, why can't it work in vending? What we've done is use the current employees with the current customer operator. He said, how much trouble did we have finding motivated individuals to do this? So what we used was the current customer operator staff and educate them, spend some time with them. And some guys can change. Some girls can change the way they think about the business. It's hard to get some of the traditional operators to change some of their thought process. Maurice was a huge part of helping them think outside the box. And I can tell you that we have several individuals that want to buy new trucks, want to get involved, that have never been in the business before. We have to prove the concept and show them that there's a business plan for success. Then we can attract some real young talent to go out there and do this job. College kids, I don't know about you and your business, but there's a ton of college kids right now that are having a hard time finding jobs, that are motivated, those millennials that are motivated to go out there and be their own boss. And this is an opportunity, but we have to show them that it's a good financial investment for them, for the bankers, so that they're going to be able to go get a loan on a new vehicle. We had to prove the concept, and I think we've done a good job of doing that. So now we can start attracting the right individuals for the position. Maurice will go over all the sales tactics that he used with each of the different segments of customers, so you can kind of see the programs he offered and catered based on what their feedback was to us. We'll put that based on a P&L, the new truck of the futures there, getting that financial information, putting a package together for them to say, hey, this is a business worth investing into. And I'll say, as distributors, we have to help them with that step. It's our responsibility to help them take that next step into investing into the business, because our success hinders on their success. So it's extremely important that we get involved and help them and mentor them in the process. This is the customer operator. These are all his vehicles, and the staff that he has that lease the vehicles from him. So we used his current staff that he uses and went out and said, we want the new trucks, we want some of the vintage trucks. Who are the better operators on the vintage trucks? Let's do some analysis on those individuals to prove the concept. We're looking at a different angle of, the first is $1,000 a day possible? That was our first mission. And how to achieve that was what we peeled back the onion, so to speak, asked the customer what they wanted, and how do we help get to that $1,000 a day. The legal side of it, that's where Chris and his team will come in and help support that, the change of name, what we call ourselves. But this is just saying that the concept works. It's achievable. The myth of, to be all honest, when the Hoss first said, hey, Mark, I need your help in driving this $1,000 a day, I laughed. I was like, man, Hoss, I don't know if this is even possible, right? But because I was thinking the way the vending business was running at that time. I said, let's step back. Let's look at it from a different lens. And that's really what we've done. And so I think the concept's there. Now we have to build out a succession business plan for entrepreneurs to invest into this business. And we as distributors have to help them. All right, Maurice, this is what they're waiting for, bud.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me? Good morning. I'm Maurice Adair. I'm with Wells Enterprise, and I'll be discussing the primary segments that need to be targeted in order to achieve the $1,000 a day goal. Those segments include child care facilities, sports and recreation, corporate, commercial, retail special events, and churches. Now, we do realize that many of these segments may have been targeted in the past, but we've come up with a different approach, and that approach is repeat scheduled business. Now, the first segment is going to be child care facilities. All child care facilities have events. They all have calendars. Best way to get your foot in the door, scheduling an event, you can then leverage that into a weekly or bi-monthly call program. We suggest donating a portion of the revenue back to the facility. All child care facilities have activity funds. They use that money for field trips, for parties, for everything. They'd love to get some revenue back from you, from their vendors. We also suggest targeting 2 child care facilities per day. 2 per day is going to move the needle towards getting that $1,000 a day goal. The key contact person there is going to be the office manager or the facility manager. Now, when you call on that child care facility the first time, we suggest having 3 things. The first is samples. The second is a sample menu so that they know what you're offering. And the third thing is going to be a branded shirt. Child care facilities are very safe and secure areas, and having on that branded shirt is going to make them feel more comfortable with you the first time you call on them. Programs. What does a program look like? Program A, truck comes out twice per month. Cost is going to be $3 per student. Keep it to about 5 SKUs if you can. You can rotate those out every month. We're going to give 15% of all the revenue back to the child care facility. We're also going to give free ice cream treats for the staff. Program B, truck comes out once a month. Still going to be $3 per student. We're going to give 10% of the revenue back to the facility, and then 10 free ice cream treats for the staff. One thing that I would suggest is when you work with the facilities, have them write the cost of having the truck into the tuition or to their monthly invoice. Great way for them to cover the cost of having the truck come out. We've also found that the average child care event is going to generate about $200 per event. So you have 2 a day, now you're moving that needle towards the $1,000 a day goal. Next segment is youth sports and recreation. We found that Little League Baseball and youth soccer tend to yield the best results. They play more games, they play outside. They typically play all day Saturday and Sunday, usually 3 seasons, starting in August, February, and May. Always multiple teams, sometimes multiple field locations as well. The key contact person is going to be the youth association president or the concessionaire. We also suggest having a rebate program for the association as a benefit to them. Programs. Program A, truck comes out every day during the week. Costs $3 to $5 menu, about 15 SKUs. We're going to give 15% of the revenue back to the association. Kids need ball gloves, kids need spikes to play ball. That's going to help them help those kids. We're also going to give free ice cream treats for the umpires and the referee staff. In my spare time, I'm a basketball referee, so there's a huge benefit to those guys when they come to work a tournament and there's free Gatorade or free ice cream. Goes a very, very long way as far as appealing to the association. Program B, truck comes out, weekends only. 10% of revenue is going to go back to the association. We found that the average sporting event yields about $300 in revenue, usually more on the weekend. Next segment is corporate and commercial. There are many different types of corporate events, from Employee Appreciation Day, Bring Your Child to Work, company picnics, blood drives. We even did a flu shot clinic a couple of weeks ago that did very, very well. The key contact person here is going to be the Human Resources Department. Programs, truck comes out twice a month, $3, $4, and $5 menu. Keep it to about 8 SKUs if you can. Here we're going to give 10% of the revenue to a charity of that company's choice. Program B, truck comes out once a month. We got $3 and $4, $5 items as well, and we're going to give 5% of revenue to a charity. As you can see, we're building that partnership that's going to carry us not only to $1,000 a day, but an extended long-term partnership that we can leverage along the way. If you guys have any questions, just stop me in the middle. This is an event that we did with Stewart Title. As you can see, it was raining that day, but the line's looping away on the side of the building. Great day. Next segment is retail special events. Here we're talking about your larger retailers, your Nebraska Furniture March, your Home Depot with their children's workshops on Saturday and Sunday mornings, and other retailers that have 10 events. Programs, we got $2, $3, $4 menu. Keep it to about 15 SKUs if you can. The key contact person here is going to be the special events coordinator, or usually someone in HR as well. I just want to say, with Nebraska Furniture Mart, we had several $1,000 days. We had a $1,300 day, a $1,400 day. We had back-to-back $1,000 days. This has been a huge customer for us this summer, and we actually didn't start doing business with them until mid-July. So I'm really curious to see what we'll do next year in 2016 with this type of customer. Huge opportunity here. Other retail customers, car dealerships and their special events, construction sites with 50 or more workers. Every construction site has a trailer. Inside that trailer is a key decision maker that can give you access to that construction site. You never want to just come on that construction site without getting permission. You're going to get chased out of there. but gaining access to that person will give you permission, and sometimes that person will even pay for the ice cream for the employees. Also, community events with their festivals and nights in the park. Anywhere where there's a large gathering of people is going to be a great opportunity to sell ice cream. And with these segments here, these are great fill-ins. We just want to keep it simple. For example, at a corporate event, they'd be willing to pay $5 for an ice cream sandwich. Yeah, but at a child care event, they may want the faces for $3 or $4. Last segment is churches. Churches, similar to child care facilities, they all have events, they all have a calendar. Best way to get your foot in that door, schedule an event, leverage that into a weekly call program after Saturday service or Sunday service. You also want to give a donation back to the church. We found that the youth pastor tends to be the contact person for churches. They typically schedule the events for the children's ministry, and they also work with the vendors for the events. Programs, truck comes out twice a week after Saturday or Sunday service. We got the $2, $3, and $4 items, 15 SKUs. Program A, if truck's out twice a week, we're going to give 15% back to the church. Program B, truck comes out once a week, we're going to give 10% back. Same thing for the special events. As you can see, with every segment, we're giving something back, and we're building that long-term relationship. That's that $1,000 a day goal down the line, too. What does that route look like? How do you build that business? How will this activity help you reach your business objectives? With repeat scheduled business. Those are the 3 words for today. Repeat scheduled business. That's what's going to get us there. Now, this is an example of what that route could look like. It's kind of blurry. As you can see, on Monday, we have 2 childcare. That's going to give you $400. We have a corporate event, a retail sales event, then you have your parks and recreation with your youth sports in the evening. The rest of the week is pretty similar until you get to Saturday, where there's a higher focus on your retail events. You got your parks and recreation. And then Sunday, similar to Saturday, except now you got your churches. So, guys, I just want to say $1,000 a day is doable. We've been doing it consistently. We're extremely excited about the possibilities of 2015. It's definitely doable. Haas is telling the truth. We've been doing it. Well, there are two different ways. Usually, we'll let them write a check. Most of the time, they write a check directly after the event, or sometimes they pay before. Well, it depends on the segment. If it's a corporate event, many times there's one person that'll pay for the event. Sometimes they'll let the employees pay.
Oh, the rebate, that's gonna come at the end.
That comes after.
Yeah.
That comes after the event.
So the important thing is trust and honesty, right? And part of that was being able to show them their sales and tracking their sales.
Exactly.
Okay? So if you just whip it on a pencil, they don't want that. They want to see the history, and at the end, if you sold $350, you're going to give them their 10% back off of that.
Okay, but is that the independent customer or the company?
The company, the independent customer, the customer operator. Yes, yeah, correct. He'll issue that. Not the staff member that's doing the event. They don't have that ability to either do a credit or a refund. He can give that authorization. This individual can give that authorization to credit that amount if they do it on a card. And as Haas mentioned, part of that training program is paying it forward. Once you train somebody, they need to train somebody else and pay it forward. As a distributor, it's our job to manage and monitor that training to make sure it's getting done. Okay, we're not there yet. That was phase 1 to prove the concept. Phase 2 will be next. We will share the programs we offered that worked for us. Absolutely send that out. But as we get along to designing the program fully for next phase, we'll share that as well.
My experience is one of the things that I found was that the follow-up piece was huge. There were many times I would call on a child care facility or a company, and I would get the contact person's name. But those follow-up calls is what really, really helped me land those events and that repeat business. So the follow-up is critical with these segments. I did a little bit of everything. There were some cold calls, there were some phone calls, there was a little bit of everything. So, I mean, I threw a lot of things up against the wall to see what would stick. All right, well, if anything comes up, feel free to reach out to Mark and I. Thank you so much for your time.